Evergreen Media Network Studios, brought to you by Evergreen Media, creating cohesive marketing campaigns. Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
Treasure Coast Connector, connecting residents and businesses of the Treasure Coast. And here's your host, Ellen Contreras.
Welcome to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras. Treasure Coast Connector is the talk show, an online community where we put a spotlight on interesting local businesses and resources, then connect them to you, the consumers in the community. Everyone has an interesting story of why they do what they do. When we learn about what's happening in our own backyard and support local businesses, it strengthens our local economy. For details on the show, links to discounts, promos, past interviews, check out www.tcconnector.com. Our home is our sanctuary, and we want it to look good. No, we want it to look beautiful. And while some people are DIY weekend warriors, most of us, myself included, we are just not that handy. Well, joining me in the studio today is Tyler Weinbrecht, and he is a licensed contractor and founder of House Husband Renovations. He is here to share lots of great information about how we can keep our homes in tip-top shape and our businesses as well. Welcome to the show.
Hello, welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. I'm happy, to have you. When I met you at the Cellar, as a lot of people know, is one of my favorite places. And you have a friend there, Paige Dupuis and Kaylee King, and she made a suggestion that you come on this show to just really, make your business explode. It's growing by leaps and bounds. But I want everybody to know who you are, what you do, because there's just so much to talk about, right? But before we get into it, why did you actually want to get into the home renovation, or I should say construction renovation industry, and start your own company?
It's because I was an electrician for years in Kansas. I moved here recently. I just enjoy helping people in multiple ways.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to kind of expand and help as much as I could. Yeah,
also corn-fed from the Midwest. That's why you're so nice. I'm a Reformed New Yorker,
Really? Yeah.
So I have a little bit of a rough edge to me. But that's why you're just so happy and just low-key and very, very professional and nice. Very good.
Yeah.
People are going to really like that about you. So I'm going to ask a couple of questions for advice for the listeners. So now, if someone has purchased, because in the summer, lots of people are buying homes, and now they're sitting in new homes that are new to them. But if it's a fixer-upper, what advice do you have when they're looking around their home? What should they start with first to attend to, whether they do it themselves or get some help?
I think obviously a lot of the community knows that bathrooms, kitchens, you want to definitely make that yours and your space. You need to look at the exterior, make sure there's fresh coat of paint on there every 2 to 3 years due to the weather and obviously the salt in the air.
Yeah. Oh, we have to get into that in the second half when we actually list all of your services. But, I have power sitting here with the microphone.
Yeah.
Do you know who my biggest fan is?
No, I don't.
My husband. He watches.
Oh, really?
And you're a house painter too.
Yeah.
We were literally actually just talking about that over the weekend. Okay, very, very good. See, that's why you're here. Thank you so much. Okay, now, if someone wants to put their house on the market, there's two parts to this. What type of upgrades would you say are not necessary that homeowners do to put their home on the market? Where should they not waste their money?
Where should they not waste it? I would say trim boards.
Okay.
Obviously you want to fix your holes, you want to do new flooring, paint. Other than that, make sure the electrical works correctly.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
But any upgrade that you do to your home before selling is great. But mostly it's visual for people that are purchasing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And then, of course, don't make it so unique with a certain type of color, or, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
you kind of want to do the neutral colors, the grays, I mean,
Hmm.
I see a lot of gray
Oh, yeah, that
for just
seems.
neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are there, looking forward in the next, few years, are we trending to a different color palette?
I have seen a lot of lighter colors here in Florida. Obviously, it's a little different in Kansas. Like the teals, the blues, the lighter blues,
Hmm.
which is it's a change for me, but I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's great. And what about house colors? What type of palette is best?
Everybody has their own preference. I
Yeah.
mean, I kind of push them to put on whatever they enjoy personally.
Okay.
I never tell them to stray away unless they are selling the home.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
that's when I push more towards the neutral colors.
Okay. All right. Well, very good. And so now, what we're going to do? We're going to talk about some of the fun projects that you have done lately. Tell me about some of the things that gave not only your clients the most satisfaction of seeing, but you. What types of jobs did you really enjoy recently working on?
I've done 6 bathrooms in the last month,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes a huge difference. I love doing it. It's fun. The plumbing side, everything. They're all unique too.
Yeah.
And also soffits. That's a
Mm-hmm.
very fun job for me. I enjoy it.
Tell me, why is that fun? Because that's like you're talking about the soffits on the outside of the house,
Yes,
right?
correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Just because the soffits are usually on most homes neglected. So
Mhm.
to have a fresh soffit to me is nice. I don't it's
Yeah.
hard to explain, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess because, before we started the show, I was telling you that, we bought our home, my husband and I, like in, 2014. So it's 10 years ago in the spring, and it was turnkey,
Yeah.
right? But a few years ago, there was an issue with our soffit, but the guy that came to help us, who was a friend of
Okay.
of my husband's, he was able to cut out a certain section and just redo that
Repair it.
section.
Yep.
So is that something that's okay to do?
That is okay to do. Just matching the materials
Mhm.
is a big
Mhm.
issue there. The aluminum is big around here, but that does rust out over
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
I would prefer. I usually install the more plastic soffits.
Okay.
They're high end, but they're plastic.
And it'll
It'll
last.
last, yeah, for longer than anybody usually owns their home.
Okay. Yeah, because as again I told you, I'm veering into what I call little old lady status.
Yeah.
Pushing
No,
60.
no
Yeah,
way.
I know. You have to get your eyes checked though. But all kidding aside, when I purchased my home, we purchased a home that was small because, we were older and we wanted to be downsized already. So I was envisioning a home that was like easier to maintain. With that said, I'm circling back to the painting. Before a home is painted, it has to be power washed.
Correct.
Do you do that too?
Yes, I do.
You do that?
I always power
Oh,
wash before I apply paint on
okay.
exterior homes. Yeah.
Are there any, now, I don't know if I'm allowed to ask you this, are there any brands that you like of paint versus don't like? If you don't want to tell me on air, that's totally fine. But, are there certain...
Yes, I mean, you're gonna get what you pay for.
Okay.
For sure, in every aspect, in
Okay.
every material that's on the market.
Okay. But you could lead me to a brand of paint that
yeah.
you like.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
I like Behr through Home Depot. I like Marquee through Home Depot.
Okay.
I like the Sherwin-Williams brands. There's tons of good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Just I think that they all are pretty comparable nowadays. They've gotten pretty good with their paints.
Now, what if somebody likes the color scheme? I'm interviewing him flat out for the. Do you get what I'm doing here?
Yeah, she needs her house painted.
Yeah.
That's what's going on. I love it.
We have total time. But you know what? This actually is a good thing because there's plenty of other people that are listening and watching. I've been doing this show for like almost 5.5 years,
Yeah.
and so I get really good feedback from people with a variety of questions that I ask. And so when it comes to the color scheme, I like it. But I think I might have some of the paint in my little garage closet thingy.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure because that's my husband's domain.
Okay.
You know, that little area. There's spiders in there.
Yeah.
There's spiders in there. So I don't go in there. But all kidding aside, if we didn't have the paint, but we and you came to the house, would you be able to match the colors that we have?
Yes, of course. I could take a chip off, or I could use the paint that you already have if it's there and it's gone bad over years. I can take that label in and have it paint matched.
I like that a lot because I really do like I said, what the second owner did.
Yeah.
Everything inside and out. So now I know how to handle that.
Yeah. And that's going back to what I said earlier about applying coats of paint every 3 to 5 years, 2 to 3 years around this area. Because
does it really have to be that way?
Yeah. Especially if you have wood on the exterior. Oh yeah, it'll rot out so fast around here.
I know I have wood frames around the windows, but there's siding on the front and the side of the house.
Okay.
And on the side it's concrete, and in the front there's like siding. But I think it's plasticky.
It could be.
I don't even know what I'm saying here because I'm just the wife. Isn't that terrible? I'm just the girl. Oh, it's embarrassing. Yeah. I'm embarrassing myself.
And that's kind of where I came up with the name. Originally, because every home needs a husband.
Yeah, yeah.
To do the honey-do list.
Honestly, and that's a good thing because there are plenty of men that are like, yeah, I can handle some of this stuff, but I don't want to handle all of the stuff. And then as we get older, then could be that some men are handy, but their knees have given out on them, Tyler.
Oh yeah.
All right, they just can't do all that stuff. So you'll come in and you'll do the smaller jobs all the way up to, the bigger jobs?
Yep. I will do anything from putting smoke detectors in to renovating a whole hospital, which I have on the schedule currently.
Oh, and you know what? This is the perfect time to take a break. But we're going to talk about that and all the services and then the types of commercial residential that you work on. You know what? I got so caught up in the painting thing. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Tyler has a lot more to say.
Hey, you! Host your very own show every week at Evergreen Media Network in Vero Beach. Go live to YouTube and Facebook with up to 4 people and your very own producer. Be heard on more than 15 podcast platforms and local radio. All you have to do is show up and talk. Your guests can join from anywhere in the world. It's easy to get started with the largest podcast studio on the Treasure Coast. Contact Evergreen Media to tour the studio.
It's hurricane season. Prune your trees now with Scott Tree Services. Strengthen your trees against high winds and remove broken limbs that could cause damage. Don't get nervous. Call Scott Tree Services. Sturgis Lumber is the county's most trusted hardware store. Sturgis stocks stainless steel products, power tools, construction and painting supplies, propane, plumbing, and electrical parts. 4645 US 1 Vero Beach. Sturgis Lumber and Hardware.
Sunshine Furniture.
If you dream of creating a home with furniture where you make life one long weekend, visit Sunshine Furniture now and save 50% on all Tommy Bahama and Lexington furniture during the Fall Home event. Bedroom, living, and dining room, home office, media, and occasional furniture that is inviting and comfortable, Tommy Bahama and Lexington offer everything you need to furnish your floor at home. The Fall Home event ends September 30th, so come in now. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com and buy local.
Sunshine Furniture brightens up your day. Sunshine Furniture, the best in every way. Ooh, have a sunshine day. Sunshine Furniture. Stop on in today and have a
Welcome back to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras, and I've been chatting with Tyler Weinbrecht, a licensed contractor and founder of House Husband Renovations. And I've been interviewing you for my own work that I need to do. So thank you for humoring me in the first half of the show. But I got so wrapped up in all the things that you do. We got an email and we got a complaint that nobody knows your contact information. All right.
Yeah.
So if you could just look at that obnoxiously lit up camera,
Yeah, the really bright one.
Yeah, I know, the really bright one. And if you could tell, because we have a graphic for people that are watching, but for the podcasters, iHeartRadio people, they don't know how to get in touch with you. Phone number, whatever you want to tell them.
Okay. Yeah. It's easy to get a hold of us. The easiest way to get a hold of me personally is my phone number through text, and it's 772-217-1823. You could also visit our Facebook page at House Husband Renovations, or you can send me a personal email at tyler.weinbrecht@gmail.com.
And Weinbrecht, Weinbrecht, and then Tyler, Tyler.Weinbrecht@gmail.com.
Yes,
okay,
correct.
Very good. So now, right before the break, I alluded to that you do, of course, the residential work, but then there's also commercial. And
Correct.
you have, and I'm not going to ask you for names of companies or hospitals, but what's going on next week with a hospital?
We do have a big hospital renovation in Madison, Florida.
Oh, wow.
Coming up.
Okay.
It's 5 hours away, but we're gonna get started here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Also, we have big resorts that we take care of now personally.
Yeah,
We're here in Vero.
there's a huge resort, in the area. I'll just say Treasure Coast area. It is a household name. You can't give the name because they will be inundated with lots of other contractors going, pick me,
correct.
and I get that. But you're in there. You are their contractor.
Yes,
so that is
correct.
wonderful. So when it comes to the commercial space, what type of work do you do for commercial buildings?
A lot of those resorts and stuff, I'll go in, they'll do AC unit replacements, and I will have to cut out the ceiling, replace the ceilings, retexture them, make sure it all matches correctly, and then repaint and take care of their lighting situations. And there's a lot.
Yeah, I saw that you had that genie lift. Is that what it's called? A little genie lift?
Yeah, correct.
And it looked like you were going like 100 feet in the air.
Yep.
Are you scared of heights, Tyler?
No, I'm not. I actually grew up around signage, and my family owns a sign company in Kansas
Okay.
as of right now, and they always had me up on the cranes and doing fun
Yeah.
stuff.
But I bet you enjoy working in Florida. I know it's very hot, but doesn't it get to be 20 below zero in Kansas in the
It
winter?
hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hurts your body.
So isn't it better to sweat than freeze? Which is the thing.
I very much enjoy the heat over the cold.
Yeah.
It's beautiful here year round.
I know. It is true. I mean, you do acclimate to the heat. I know I certainly have. When it goes below 70, I'm putting on a sweater.
Yep. Now I'm cold.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Oh,
weird.
my goodness. Yes. So now you mentioned Madison. You mentioned working outside of the area. So where primarily do you do most of your work?
Primarily, I'm from Satellite Beach through Stewart is usually where I do most of the scope of work.
Yeah,
But I'm more than willing to go to the Gulf Coast to, anywhere.
Depending on the project, of
Correct,
course.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I can't drive over there for,
Just changing out a battery in a, what do you call it, a smoke detector or whatever. Yeah. No, I
unless
get
they're
that.
very nice, and if they email me and they're super nice, I'll help.
Okay. Well, no, that is a very good thing. So I guess, is there a House Husband Renovations helicopter in the future?
That would
Wouldn't
be
that be cool?
nice, but I don't think. that's expensive.
Yeah, I
Seems
know.
like.
I know. So, okay. So now when it comes to, and I'm going to go back to like homes, with trends, like with flooring, sometimes people like go for something that they think is pretty, but do you help people when it comes to flooring to guide them on what's a passing fad? Think about durability. How do you help your clients when they say, I want to just gut everything and redo, but they really don't know where to go, what to do. How do you help them with
I
that?
preferably, so if you have pets or children, I preferably, I tell them to go with the scratch resistant waterproof LVP, which is a very nice flooring. It'll last, I mean, forever as long as you keep it maintained.
Yeah.
And as much as I love the tile guys around here, that's a lot of maintenance. I try to push people away from doing the tile work.
Okay.
Because if you don't seal that grout, if you don't clean that grout on a regular basis, you're gonna create a lot of dirt, a lot of mold, a lot of things that you don't want to create.
Yeah. I have tile all throughout.
Oh, really? I'm sorry. Then.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, that's why I have a husband.
Yeah.
So he's going to clean the grout.
You're gonna have two now,
right? Oh, I know. And when I get home, he's going to be like, "That is so not funny with the grout,"
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
But so now, what else would you like us to know about you and the work that you do?
Just that around here in Florida, I've gotten major compliments on communication. It's just about doing what you say you're gonna do, and being there for the people and make it an easy process.
Yeah,
I've learned that. I mean, coming from Kansas to here, the work ethic is a little different. I've noticed,
Yeah,
and I think that my clients have noticed as well.
Very good. So when you actually say, I'm going to be there to start your project on the Monday, whatever that Monday is, you're going to be there.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. And a lot of people look at me as I'm younger. I shouldn't know as much as I do. Luckily, I took in everything my father and grandfather showed me, and I built on it.
Yeah. And I was going to say that, you come from a family of business owners, okay? Yeah. And you learned from your grandfather and your father. So when you were a kid, when you weren't in school, you were probably working on projects with them.
Yeah. I was building signs and hanging out at the sign shop.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because when I first started doing invoices, I did it like my grandfather. It was all written down. And that's not the way to go about it anymore, at least.
Exactly. But it's also good that you learned the business of business, because that also separates you from someone who said, they worked for someone else doing whatever in the housing world. And then they go out and they don't understand how to communicate with people. And I'm going to show up, I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to leave you hanging, and how to handle paperwork and all. So you literally understand all aspects of running a business.
I think that the people aspect is the easiest for me. The business side of things, I've had a few issues with. Luckily, I have good friends that here in town, and Paige and Kaylee have actually helped me out quite a bit.
Yeah, we're gonna keep them. I think, we're gonna hold on to them because they're awesome. Yeah. So if I mentioned in the beginning, we met because my husband and I had a date night at the Cellar. And Paige and Kaylee, and you actually help them with a golf cart. They have a golf cart that they're running around.
Actually, it's Paige and I's golf carts that we have, and we have designs, or we have advertisements on the top of them that run around down there, and then also deliver wine for the Cellar.
Very cool. Very good. All right. So again, before we end, what is your phone number and your social media handle?
Phone number contact 772-217-1823. And like I said, just find us on Facebook. It's House Husband Renovations. And send me an email anytime at tyler.weinbrecht@gmail.com.
Very good. So this is all about residential and commercial projects. And I know Cindy is going to make me say goodbye.
Trying to kick us out already.
I know she is trying to kick us clear out of this room, but I have a few seconds. And so in all seriousness, it's, big projects all the way down to, small repair, like the honeydew list.
Yes,
okay, very
correct.
good. So with that said, thank you for being here, and thank you for everyone listening and watching. My name is Ellen Contreras, host of Treasure Coast Connector. Until next week, I miss you already.